Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am T, known as the Crafty Welsh one, because I'm Welsh, obviously. Been toying about this idea for a little while now. I do a lot of Instagram videos, and a lot of people have questioned why I don't do the YouTube videos, and I never really had an answer. So here we are. I thought I would join the little world of my sewing friends and maybe go along the YouTube route. And I thought that I would, just do a little bit of an intro really as to who I am, what I do, what I craft, what I like to try to craft. I love sewing. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I have a lot of fitting issues. So sewing is a little bit of a challenge for me sometimes, but I've stuck with it, keep going, and just keep learning all the way, all the way. Yeah, it's definitely something that you should try if you don't think that you can do it. 100% you can. I started in a little cupboard, just sewing some cushions together. I bought a sewing machine because I really wanted to alter my clothing that I bought, because normally the shoulders are like 4 inches too high for me, so I need to adjust them. And then there came a point where I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to start from scratch. And that's what I did. I started sewing from scratch. But yeah, like I said, it was just the cushions and the blankets and things like that. When I started the cushions and the blankets, I really wanted to personalise them. So I went out and got my first embroidery machine. That lasted 2 to 3 weeks. And then I wanted to upgrade because obviously I knew what it could do, what I wanted it to do. Which was something that my first embroidery machine couldn't do. So hence the reason why I went and got the second one, which I still have, by the way. It's amazing. It is my beast. I love it. So I just wanted to quickly go through it. I say quickly, I don't know how long this is going to take with it being my first video. And it's quite a lot to go through, but I'm just going to briefly go through it. When I first bought my machine, there was a lot of things I didn't know about it. I didn't really know what I needed. You know, it's not just a case of getting the machine and going. You know, you need the accessories and things like that. All machines do come with sort of like the minimum of, you know, what you do need. Like a sewing machine, you want the extra bits and bobs, you're gonna have to purchase them, which is, you know, that's fine. So when you first buy an embroidery machine, you really need to think about what you want it to do, what you want to be able to do with it. Don't think about the now, you know, what you want to be able to do with it now. Have a think about what you want to be able to do with it. You know, you want to grow into your machine. You don't want to be stuck like I was with a machine that couldn't do what you eventually wanted to do. Now I started off, I wanted to just embroider and personalise my blankets and my cushions. When I found out what a machine could do, it just blew my mind, completely blew my mind. And there was just, once I got started, there was no chance of me slowing down. I went nuts. I bought everything, I did everything. And then with the dressmaking then, it sort of took it went on a standstill because I was really enjoying the dressmaking side of it. I think I've been dressmaking now for about a year and a half, maybe at a push 2. And I thought, it's time to get the embroidery machine out again. You know, I really enjoyed it. I loved playing about with the embroidery machine. There was so much I did with it, and it just seemed a waste to be sat in the cupboard, you know, pulling it out when I needed to stick a name on something. I really wanted to make a space for it now, which you'll be able to see over on my Instagram stories. I've sort of documented the whole process of emptying the cupboard, sorting everything out, putting everything back in, and now my embroidery machine has an actual space. It's a studio, my little studio, that's what I'm going to call it. So when I first had my embroidery machine, I went and bought all the threads. I bought everything, so I knew I could play straight away. That's not something you have to do. You know, if you're on a budget, you can get a machine that's going to be suited to you. If you're not really feeling, up to the challenge of progressing with the embroidery machine and you literally just want it to personalise things and have a little bit of a, you know, have a little bit of a play with it, then that's fine as well. But I guarantee it's not gonna be what you're gonna want to do. You're gonna want to go nuts. And that's what I did. I went completely mental. But now I have the machine I've stuck with. I've stuck with it, and I'm still growing with it. So I'm hoping now, pulling it out, I'm going to be able to start back up and, you know, start. I love it. It's a passion that I've got. I love the embroidery, and I totally went backwards. I bought the embroidery machine, you know, to do all of that, and then I sort of, since dressmaking, I've slipped into a hand embroidery stage, which I think I should have done that first, because maybe I wouldn't have gone as nuts on the embroidery machine than I would have. But I don't regret it. I love it. It is fab. So a lot of people have asked me what type of things you need to start with when you get an embroidery machine. All the embroidery machines will come with hoops. I've got mine on the wall. So these are your hoops, like a hand embroidery hoop, only a bit more machine-like. So there's a couple of them that I've got. I've got 3. The machine came with 2. I think it was quite a while ago now that I bought it. But I've got the Janome 500. It's the Memory Craft 500E. And it is a beast. It really is. It does the auto tension. It's got, you know, the start-stop button, the thread cutter. And it really is. It's got the colour screen. I will show you in another video the machine. I just wanted to give a quick brief of what it is that you'll need. So you'll need your threads. Now, machine embroidery thread is a little bit different to normal sewing thread. Normal sewing thread, you can use it, but it tends to be a lot more fluffier, and it will fluff your machine up quite a bit. So, you know, if you do need to use it, you can use it, but I would advise getting the proper embroidery thread. Just because it's nicer, it's less fluffy, it's got more sheen to it, it's a lot more stronger, and it just, the colours are just pretty, so pretty. I've got a drawer full of them. So you can use that thread, but I would definitely go for the embroidery thread, normal embroidery thread. There are different brands out there, and some machines do prefer some brands to others. My Janome, my first one was the 350E. That didn't like sim thread. This stuff did not like it at all. But the 500E loves it. Just don't ask me why. Some machines are fussy, some are not. Mine's fussy. She likes this. She does like it. This is a sim thread, and it's the 100% polyester embroidery thread. Definitely recommend this. You can go over to Doris Darby over at Embroidered Just For You. She's got a website. Her customer service is just, it blows me away every time. I haven't ordered from her in a while, obviously, because I haven't been embroidering as much. But when I first started out, the stuff that she does like a starter pack. You've got any questions, she'll answer them. She is one of the, you know, she's really knowledgeable when it comes to the machine embroideries, accessories and stuff that you need. The next thing you're going to need is stabilizer. A lot of people have been asking me, what stabilizers do you need for this and what do you need for that? I remember when I first started, somebody told me to remember this, and it stuck with me since. If you don't wear it, tear it. So if you're wearing something you're going to embroider, don't use tearaway stabilizer. So that's something that I've always stuck in my head. If you wear it, don't tear it. So you're going to need to use something that's called Cutaway. This is more of a permanent stabilizer. Now, these are rolls that I've got from Amazon. You can get stabilizers from a lot of places. You can get these ones, I think, I don't know how much. It's 12 inches by 11 yards. Now, I remember having this off Amazon. Now, this one is a cutaway, so this is a permanent one. So this is one you're going to need for things like jumpers, if you're embroidering a skirt. So things basically that you want, you know, you want it to to hold, you know, the stabilizes the embroidery design onto the fabric, and it's sort of, it just helps keep his shape, and, you know, make sure he doesn't distort in the wash and things like that. So permanent cutaway for things that you are going to be wearing, or you know, things that are going to be having a lot of heavy duty use, you know. So that, yeah, definitely going to need to get some of that if you're planning on doing a lot of clothing. When I first started, I didn't plan on doing clothing. I planned on doing cushions and blankets and things like that, which I use the tearaway for. You can get iron-on tearaway or normal tearaway. This is a massive roll that I had from Doris over in Embroider Just For You. I think it was 100 meters. I think it was a while ago that I got it. But she, you know, that you can get loads of this if you're going to go through it like I first did. Yeah, definitely. So that's just a normal tearaway. So you basically hoop that on the back of your fabric, and then when you're done your embroidery design, then you just tear it off. A lot of people get in there with the tweezers and things like that because they don't like they don't like it. I'm one of these that if it's going to be hidden in a cushion or things like that, not bothered. Just rip a bit off, you know, the obvious bits. I'm not going to get in there with the tweezers. If it's something that's going to be, you know, you can see the back of, I will get in there with the tweezers and give it a good, you know, pull it out. Then you can get some pre-packed and pre-cut squares. I bought these from Doris as well. These are amazing for, you know, your little hoops. It's just a good way to not waste it, because I was finding like this stuff is quite wide, so this is better for your bigger hoops, and this is better for your littler hoops, because obviously you know, you don't want to be wasting stabilizer if you can help it. I also, as well, if I have got bigger pieces that are too good to throw, I will zigzag stitch them together. I don't like wasting it, so I'll zigzag stitch them together just to get the use out of it. Then you've got something that is called water soluble stabilizer. This stuff is excellent for stuff that have got like you know, things that you're going to lose your stitches in. So I normally use this for things like fleece blankets, or like the little baby cutchy teddies that you can get. I use that for this. What else do I use it for? I do use it for my hand embroidery as well now, actually. I should really be using it for that, because I can just normally hand draw it, but sometimes it's just nicer to just use this. I draw with a Sharpie. Don't ask me why. I draw with a Sharpie on this, stick that in my hand embroidery hoop, and then I'll stitch over that and then just wash it away. This is awesome. This stuff is awesome. You don't need it when you're first starting out. You really don't. But it's handy to have a roll for when you're ready to start experimenting. So that's my stabilizers. If you have got any questions, mind, just drop me an email, inbox me over on Instagram. You can find me at the Crafty Welsh one. Yeah, any questions or anything you feel you want a little bit more info on, let me know. It's my first video, you know, you just bear with me. You will also need bobbin fill. Now, when you're sewing, you basically fill your bobbins with your sewing thread. With embroidery machines, it's different. It's a different weight and a different texture, feel, the lot. Now, I don't buy bobbin fill. I'm lazy and I'm too impatient to wind my own bobbins for the embroidery machine. I'm lazy. So I buy pre-wound ones, and I've got loads of them. I keep them in this handy little box. I've got loads of them. Doris does them as well. If you're not sure what size you need, let her know your machine, make a model, and she will tell you which ones you need. She's fabulous like that. Yeah, so you need them, or your bobbin fill if you're patient enough to wind your own bobbins and all of that. You will go through quite a few of them. So I would definitely advise buying some pre-wounds if you're too impatient like me. Definitely too impatient. Yeah, so you need your bobbins, your threads, your stabilizers. Your hoops will come with your machine. and then your fabric then ready to embroider onto. So it's up to you whether or not you want to do a few like tester stitches on some scrap fabric and, you know, have a play with your built-in designs, which my machine's got quite a few, or you want to just go in and straight away wing it and just embroider onto a project. It's totally up to you. I don't know whether or not you've noticed, my thread has got a loom band on it. Awesome tip. Now my embroidery threads, some of the more expensive, you know, brands have got that little bit of, like the Gunneld sewing thread, they've got that bit where you can wind it in and it stays and it keeps your threads neat. Sim Thread doesn't have that, and because I bought a massive box of them, they were, you know, they were going messy. So I bought loom bands. Brilliant, brilliant to just go around the thread and keep it, you know, keep it neat, keep it neat. Yeah, so that is the embroidery machine, the basics and what you will need. If I've forgotten anything, then I'm really sorry, but if you've got any questions, drop me a message. I love helping people get into embroidery. It really is, it's exciting, and I know there's a lot of people asking, you know, can you do it, can you work with the sewing machine and embroidery machine combined? Yes, you can. You can get machines that do both. I didn't want to do that because I like to embroider and leave my machine be while I'm sewing. So I didn't want to have to wait for my machine to finish embroidering my project and then have to convert it back into the sewing machine and all of that. I wanted two standalone machines that could work alongside each other. If you're tight on space, tight on budget, and you know you want to be doing what I did, and you're happy to wait for your design to be finished and then convert it back into a sewing machine, definitely get it combined. I do love my Janome. My first one was Janome and my second one is Janome, and I do love it. Yes, I definitely advise getting one. It is a lot of fun. Prepare to be blown away with how much money you will spend once you can see what designs are also out there available to buy on the internet. Also be prepared to want to create your own designs when you see that there is software available to do so. That's what I did. I went completely nuts. Completely nuts. I did. Absolutely nuts. But it was totally worth it. And some of the gifts that I have made with it has just blown people away, because it's not just me making them a gift that I've sewn. I've also personalised it with the embroidery machine. I've also made bags with the embroidery machine, little pouches. This is something that I made purely in the embroidery machine. Inserted the zip in the embroidery machine. You know, it's lined. You know, it's not perfect because I think this one was my first one. But you know, I've made a couple. These ones on the embroidery machine. These are to keep my USBs in, because this is how I transfer designs onto my embroidery machine using USBs. That's something I will cover in another video, because I think it's a bit too much to go into at the minute. Yeah, so definitely hit me up with any questions if you've got any, and yeah, definitely be seeing you soon. Until next time.